Protest and grotesque sound so similar, but they are far from each other. Protest can be in the form of something which has not been heard, which ought to be. Many a times the government passes laws which are not to the liking of people. Then the movements occur, voices are raised, masses gather, and all this is blamed on conspiracies. But indeed, in the first place, these conspiracies are just a pretext to avoid own failures. What is happening is these section of people were not even taken into consultation before passing the law. This is a major flaw in many of the governments around, that while it seems to be catering to the interest of few powerful, it forgets that it is also the government of majority of people who may not come into the flashlight, but they have casted their votes to the leaders. They too deserve equal uh, attention from these leaders, and they just cannot be ignored and neglected. But that is what is happening. And this problem is not in just India, even US and many other countries across the world. Similar thing is in fashion. The extremism is finding its way into the political inclinations of the people. It has become like a sport where you support your team blindly and taunt others without looking for a reason or logic behind it. But that is not good for the democracy, for a healthy leadership that is supposed to take care of its people, but it seems to be ignorant. Even here, a protest was happening for around 2 months from now on. It was said that it's just a section of people who were middlemen and are now trying to be posing themselves as poor farmers, and they do not represent the entire country. There were news across that from the other states, the farmers were not even allowed to come travel, and you cannot just expect in a country like India to for people to travel over such a long distances. It's already been a COVID time. Not many trains are running. Even the public transport has been affected, and you just cannot expect them to travel over such a long distances. With the state governments trying its best to withhold any type of resistance, and then at the end of the day they say that there is no such movement across any part of the country. It's just few states of North India. That's not right, and every effort has been attempted to malign the movement, and they have been successful to much extent. And after this image has been tainted, they're using the force to evacuate, to force the people for which they have been holding their ground for more than 2 months. This is really deplorable from a responsible country like India, which talks about its humanity and takes pride in its culture across the global stage. Is this what we are headed towards? Some blame emergency, some decry emergency, and this is very much similar to emergency. The voice is not heard and crushed by the force. I'm very much disappointed what is happening today, and let's see what happens tomorrow. This all is happening because of huge propaganda from the ruling regime, which has been feeding into the young empty minds of youths all this time, and They have stuck to this ideology. What an empty mind will do, it will turn into evil. That's what is happening. And these have turned themselves into majority, and they're ambushing the ones who are just thinking of themselves, calling them seculars or the I'm liberals. It's like he's doing some crime. That's the norm of the day, and that's not right. People who are much more broad thinking are scared and are not sure where the future lies, hoping for the best. Let's say there was no agenda for today. I just felt like speaking on it. That's that. Over to you. Bye.